What's up everybody? Welcome back. I'm gonna be showing you a build that I have been working on since a long time. Finally managed to get it where I wanted. It is quite optimized. Um, okay, take a look here. You see like, are you using a high-end mask? You might think, what the fuck? This is actually one of the key points or the key pieces of this build and what makes it so effective. So the stats are quite all over the place, like 2.7k electronics, 2.9 thousand firearms, and then we have some 2.4 asinine stamina there. What the fuck is going on, you may ask? Um, well, I'm trying to be a damage dealer reclaimer in PvP while keeping my smart cover and booster shot up 100% of the time um, against players. That's not like, I'm not talking a cooldown perspective. I'm talking about flashes, bleed, or fire bullets, EMP grenades. Against all of that, I'm trying to still keep the smart cover up all the time, and that's why this mask plays a huge role in this build. Um, so basically, toughness is disregarded because when I use my smart cover and booster shot, I get 90% all damage resilience. That means nothing can really touch me. Everything tickles, and you don't really need that much toughness to survive in the smart cover. So that's why I chose to activate my damage weapon talent, so I can do some moderate damage, and on the smart cover I can really do some hefty damage. Okay, so let's start with the pieces, go slow by slow. This is a very optimized build to its maximum potential. Um, so it's like, even if you want to build the same way with the same pieces, it'll still be very effective, but you won't be per se cap out smart cover at this skill power. Okay, starting off with our chest piece, we have a Vigorous chest piece here with 719 electronics. Vigorous allows me to use booster shot and get overheal from that, so that is pretty sweet. And booster shot is also key to this build. Um, Also using an armor mod here because our armor was not capped, and then some skill power. If I can remove this armor mod, my skill power can go up higher, but it's not really necessary. I want to cap out the armor and then skill power, firearms. Important thing here is the smart cover damage resilience skill attribute. Now, smart cover naturally caps at 53,000 skill power from a resilience perspective, but to cap it earlier, you need those rolls, the skill attributes on the on certain pieces. So 3% on the chest piece, which is pretty sweet. Now, big big piece here, Rejuvenated Mask. This talent might be overlooked, but is one of the best PvP talents in my opinion. Consuming a medkit removes all status effects, and you can almost always consume a medkit, besides shocks, of course. But for any other thing, what keeps me from refreshing my smart cover, putting it back on, is usually flashbang users. They sticky me, they throw EMP grenades on me, and they just lock me out of my skills. And when we're like camping on a smart cover and it goes down and I can't put it back on, my team just gets annihilated by the swarm of players around us. So to prevent that, we're using a rejuvenated mask. Every time I'm flashed and I need to refresh the smart cover, I can just pop a medkit, and completely remove that flashbang effect, and just refresh my smart cover. That's just gonna be sweet and effective. It can be. I can use it to purge off fire. I can use it to purge off bleed. If I need to run away, I can use it to purge off, I don't know, disorient, which is not really that important. But most importantly, disruption. I mean, flashbangs and EMP grenades are our biggest enemy, and any decent group that knows they're fighting against good smart cover users are going to try to take advantage of those flashbangs and EMP grenades to lock you out of your smart cover. So Rejuvenated Mask, number one top choice here. Definitely go for it. It's just going to make it a lot easier to be an effective support in the Dark Zone. Once you also get out of the effect, you can throw a heal down, so all of your teammates can go through it, and they can also remove their own disruption effects. So all in all, perfect talent, definitely a must in this build. Moving on to our Reclaimer knee pads, we have some stamina here, some exotic resilience, which isn't bad. Disrupt resistance and shock, they're both great. And then smart cover damage resilience on the skill attribute, the key point here. This is very important to get. Moving on to the backpack, we're going to be having a lot of electronics, a lot of skill power, pretty good roll, and again, smart cover resilience, that is pretty sweet. You actually don't need this to cap it out at 46k. I believe you can get to like 74% reduction on your smart cover without this roll at 46,000. So this is a bit overkill, but still nice to have. Um, Also really high. This is a pretty decent piece actually. Again, we have smart cover damage resilience on everything we can get. And then I also have smart cover damage increase on the gloves just for the swag here. I actually don't need them because it already caps out at 46,000 the damage increase. So, and a decentish holster with armor. So this completes the build, and it is just crazy that you can actually play this type of build and uh, deal a lot of damage. So I can turn to my MP7 here, pop my smart cover, pop my booster shot. I'm still doing a moderate amount of damage without any I mean 80k to the head uh, crits. That is impressive. Obviously, we don't have a lot of crit chance because I don't have it on the gloves, which I should have if I want to play a damage dealer build. But um, you can deal damage if somebody in your team pulses, and uh, and you don't even need to deal damage. You can still be a full support to your team. That's basically what you're there for, and dealing damage is just an extra benefit to the team. Um, so a couple tips here, as usual. I like to give some tips on the build at every build video that I'm doing. So you don't want to run survival link, okay? This gives you 80% resistance. But the thing is, there's a stat called all damage resilience in this game. Here, as you can see, it's currently 0%, I believe. Under survivability, is 0%. This caps out at 90%. You can't go above 90% ADR. Um, and when I pop my smart cover and the booster, this already is at 90%. So if I pop a survivor link on top of this, that's just a wasted talent. And due to the rejuvenated mask and whatnot, my smart cover is always down and safe. So you don't really need a survivor link. It's just going to be a wasted talent besides movement speed, which I don't think that is really important. You really don't want to be running with this build. You want to be sitting on a smart cover, just destroying everything and buffing your DPS guys. So I suggest Tactical Link, which can give a serious crit chance and a lot of damage to your team as well as you, and also has a pretty sweet cooldown at 360, so you can use it pretty comfortably. As I said, this build really works wonders in the PvP. Just give it a shot. Try to get your hands on a Rejuvenated mask. It drops a lot from Dragon Nest or DZ. You can get your hands on a Rejuvenated mask quite easily, in my opinion. And with 4-piece Reclaimer, Vigorous, and Rejuvenated, you can become an unstoppable support that can also deal a shit ton of damage. Alright, well, this will conclude the build. Um, One more tip here though, when you are overheal or at max health, you can't really pop a medkit. As you can see, it's not working. So um, when you're disrupted and you're overhealed, you won't be able to pop a medkit. So that might cause some complications, but as soon as you start taking some damage, you can just pop it back, remove that disruption, and put the smart cover back. What I also suggest is do not wait until the smart cover is expired. What you need to be doing is, once the cooldown is back on, let's wait for that cooldown here, it's coming back on. Once the cooldown is ready, just destroy the smart cover and put it back on. What this means is you always have the smart cover um, up where there's a long time before it expires. I mean, I couldn't phrase it well, but I hope you got the point. So if you just wait for it to end, somebody just disrupt you at the last second, or it's close to its expiration, and then you can just be locked up without smart cover if you can't purge it off with Rejuvenated. So when you have it off cooldown, just pop it yourself and put it back on. This will make it a lot smoother. This will also remove or prevent any bugs from happening when you like wait for smart cover to expire. It's just when it's off cooldown, pop it, destroy it, and put it back on yourself. This will allow you to play smart cover with minimal downtime, and overall gonna be a sweet addition to your buffs. And in PvP, you can either use incendiary bullets, you can use explosive bullets, both pretty effective. Also, if you're like all on fire or getting spammed by incendiaries and whatnot, if you want to give your team some, if you want to give your team some immunity, you can just pop an energy bar here and give your team uh, a 5-second immunity to all status effects. Actually, is it 5 seconds? Let me see how long it lasts. I also have cool headed on day 1A. So it's like, no, it's more than 5 seconds, I believe, yeah. It's 10 seconds, but I already have it back on. Bam. So cool headed is a talent that reduces skill cooldowns on headshots, but it also reduces consumable cooldowns, which makes it the best talent, without a doubt, the best talent for a reclaimer. So carry an M1A and try to get cool headed on it. It is essential, and you don't have to get it in the last slot. You can activate it because you have electronics in a reclaimer build. So you can have it in the first slot or whatever, you can still activate it. But it is very important. Like, I'm using an energy bar. It's off cooldown. As you can see, it's on cooldown right now. Bam. Spam a couple headshots. It's back on. Putting it back on. Energy bar again. Immunity. It is just sweet. Like, in the middle of the fight, you can just eat an energy bar, and as your team is fighting the other players, you can just do a couple headshots on an APC. Not an APC, NPC, and then just get it back on and put it back on. It's pretty sweet. Also, it's very effective in PvE activities as well, since you can keep up 100% uptime water. So like popping water, drinking that shit, and then a couple headshots. As you can see, the bar is filling up. It's already off cooldown. It's pretty sweet. So this is my ultimate PvP Reclaimer build. You can still deal a pretty nice amount of damage with your team's pulse, but you can also provide max buffs to your entire team. And if you get lucky or grind enough to get these exact smart cover resilience rolls, you can cap your smart cover at 46k, which means you won't have to use another electronic piece, allowing you to get over that range to activate brutal and whatnot, those talents, and also get a moderately good stamina. But I believe this is one of the best builds you can get as a reclaimer in PvP. Definitely give it a shot. Catch you later.